up everyone, hope we're all doing well. It's been 2 years ago today since Jon Jones defeated Ciryl Gane in the very first round. Which also means it's been 2 years to the day where everyone pretty much jumped off the Ciryl Gane hype train. Because at one point, Ciryl Gane was an undefeated fighter, had a lot of success very quickly and very early on in his UFC career. And then after a few losses and a few things going on outside the sport, he's kind of not got that much of a fan base any longer. And it pains me that I have to say that, and it pains me that I've got to make this video, because guess what? I am still a fan of Ciryl Gane. I love him. I think he's very fun to watch at times, and not only that, he's just something different for that heavyweight division, mainly being that he's actually in shape unlike most heavyweights, but I think he's quite fun to watch at times. And not only that, I really brought into the hype when he first came along in the UFC. But now that it's been almost 6 years since Ciryl Gane's been with the UFC, let's have a look at his resume and see where it started to all fall down. But before we carry on, I would appreciate it if you left the video a like and maybe even consider subscribing, as I'm trying to hit 1k subs on YouTube by the end of 2025. Now let's get straight back into the video. So he starts his MMA career in the summer of 2018, and he starts off great with a front choke. After this, he gets another finish. After this, he gets another finish, and then he gets his UFC debut. So he made his UFC debut at 3-0, which you don't really see that often. Just 1 year after his MMA debut, he makes his UFC debut after a year after his MMA debut. Wins by arm triangle choke in the very first round. It gets a heel hook submission in the third round for his second fight, and then gets a decision against Tanner Boser in his third fight. And he was very active, having 3 fights from the summer of 2019 till the end of 2019. Very good. And then 2020 starts a bit stinky. Well, the majority is a bit stinky because he has 4 cancellations. Not ideal, but he gets rewarded by a big name in Junior Dos Santos to improve to 6-0, where he gets the elbow finish in round 2. And this was also on the last pay-per-view of the year as well, from what I remember. And yes, Junior Dos Santos, not exactly the best of wins considering JDS was washed at this point, but still a very big name to have on your resume, especially, 2 years after your MMA debut? We then move on, he's got Rosenstruck, gets a very boring, lackluster decision win on a Fight Night card. I believe he was the main event for this Fight Night as well. Move on, another lackluster performance against Volkov, but he dominates Volkov in his second main event. And then he gets Derek Lewis, and when he defeated Derek Lewis is when all the hype kind of blew up for Ciryl Gane. He was undefeated. He was looking really good on the feet, and people were really excited. So then people were like, we want to see the fight between him and Francis Ngannou, and people got their wish. We got the fight with Francis Ngannou, and you could build this up a fair bit. You had Francis Ngannou, the champion, the guy at the heavyweight division, coming up against Ciryl Gane, who was looking amazing, undefeated. And not only that, both of these two used to train at the same gym in France, and then Francis left the gym and there was a bit of bad blood there. So he had a bit of a story to tell with this one as well. And in this fight, Ciryl Gane was winning the first 2 rounds, and then his fight IQ really fucked him over in the last 3, which led to Francis getting the win. But there's no shame there, considering that Francis was very experienced, the champion, and able to beat Ciryl Gane. There's no shame in Ciryl Gane losing that fight to Francis Ngannou. It's just a bit of kick in the bollocks that his fight IQ let him down after having so much success in the first 2 rounds. Then he comes back in late 2022 when he takes on Tai Tuivasa, who was on a nice little winning streak right here. This is when Tai Tuivasa had a nice winning streak, where it had some good momentum going for him, and he even got dropped by Tai Tuivasa in this fight, but Ciryl Gane was able to get the 3rd round finish. It was a very fun fight, a very exciting fight. So then he got a lot more hype back on his track, Yeah, he lost to Ngannou because he's shitty fight IQ, and he made the wrong decision in the 5th round, what cost him. And then he was able to finish Tai Tuivasa, who was on a good run. So you were able to bring a lot of that hype back. And he was going up against Jon Jones, and this would be Jon Jones' heavyweight debut. And it went to shit. But he had a lot of hype going into this. A lot of people were like, oh my god, Ciryl Gane, this is Jon Jones, this is going to be amazing. And now that we look back, it's just kind of like, ugh. But going into it, there was a lot of fucking hype for this fight. But in the first round, his fight IQ just let him down again. It simply let him down again. Because I remember seeing the video where Ciryl Gane was like, yeah, we worked on loads of feints and all this and setting up shots. And what did he do? Throw a naked right hand, which he didn't set up. Didn't throw any feints like he usually does in all of his fights. Didn't throw it as a 1-2 using the jab as a setup for the straight right. Just throws a naked right hand that Jon Jones saw from a mile away and was able to take advantage of, and obviously got the submission victory with relative fucking ease. After this, he takes on Sergey Spivak, gets a nice victory against Spivak, a grappler, but not many people talking about it. Kind of hard to get gassed about a Spivak win, in all fairness. And then he comes back in late 2024 after fucking about for the majority of it. Gets the fight against Volkov, and let's just be fucking honest, lads. Volkov won this rematch. We all know it. Your mum, your dad, your dog, your cat, your siblings all know that Volkov won the rematch against Ciryl Gane. I'm a big Ciryl Gane glazer. I predicted that Ciryl Gane would win with relative ease, and I was completely proven wrong. Volkov should have won this fight, and he didn't get the nod. But what next? I feel like his hype is currently in the shitter right now. There's no hype surrounding Ciryl Gane whatsoever. And now we're stuck in a situation where Ciryl Gane doesn't really have any hype around him whatsoever. He's coming off a victory where the majority of people believe that it was a loss and it should have been. And it's like, what do you do with him next? I mean, on paper, yeah, you could probably give him a title shot after beating Volkov and Spivak, but he shouldn't have won against Volkov, you know? So can you give him a title shot? I don't think you can, and it's not like he's looked anything crazy in either one of these two. Yeah, he was able to finish Spivak, but Spivak gets finished by anyone who's elite, you know? I don't know, it's just a weird one, I'll be completely honest. Ciryl Gane versus Jolton Almeida, I think that's the best way to go at the moment. Ciryl Gane versus Jolton Almeida. Whoever wins that fight gets the winner of Aspinall and Jones if that fight's made. If Jones vacates and it's just Aspinall, well then the winner gets the championship title fight. With Volkov, don't give me a fucking headache. Volkov maybe, I don't know. Just give him a title shot, fuck it. He should have won against Gane, and he's been looking good recently. Maybe you want to do Gane versus Pavlovich, but I think doing Gane versus Almeida stylistically is a lot more interesting. It'll be a lot more impressive as well. And I don't know, I don't mind if you want to do Gane and Pavlovich. I just feel like that fight's kind of lost a lot of steam because both of those guys have lost a lot of hype and steam. But it's not only the fights what have kind of fucked over Ciryl Gane. No, you had Tom Aspinall asking to fight Ciryl Gane after he came back and beat Marcin Tybura, and Gane, no reply whatsoever. Nothing to be heard from him. Just complete radio silence. And it's like, okay, so what the fuck do we do? So Tom Aspinall goes out there, starches Pavlovich, and what does Gane do? Yeah, I'd love to fight Tom Aspinall. Yeah, of course you fucking do now. Like, what? He's trying to pick and choose who and when he should fight, like he is the guy in the heavyweight division, when at this point he had taken 2 losses, one to Ngannou and one to Jones. It's a bit different if you are the champion. You get to throw your weight around a bit more and call the shots, but he's not in that situation. And again, ever since Aspinall's been doing amazing and overtook Gane as the guy in the future of the heavyweight division, Gane's just like, oh, I'd love a title shot against Aspinall. As though Aspinall wasn't calling you out plenty of times. I'm pretty sure he called him, Tom Aspinall called out Gane before he even fought Tybura. So yeah, he's rubbed a lot of fans the wrong way. Oh, and you do have people slating him for doing like some French film. I think Jon Jones is in it as well. Some people are slating him for that. Oh, he's more focused on films than he is MMA. That might be the case, and I think he does modeling as well. Like, yeah, I can understand what you're saying. He's not prioritizing MMA. I will completely agree with you there, but I don't blame him. You've only got a short span in MMA when you're doing a sport like this. You only have a short career, what, 10, maybe 15 years? I don't blame him for venturing off into acting and modeling. Like, I don't hate on him for it. I understand it. I think it's a good point to make if you want to say he's not dedicated to the sport and as passionate as the sport as he was when he was compared to like the start of his career. I completely understand that, but I don't think people should be hating on him for venturing off and doing other things. I think that's a bit weird. And overall, guys, I just struggle to see how Ciryl Gane's going to get the hype train back, and whether we could either see him as a champion. I don't think we'll ever see him as champion. Interim, I think he was fair, but actual champion, I don't think we'll ever see it. I used to still favour Gane over Aspinall. I don't know if I do now, especially after that performance against Volkov. I don't know if I do. I'll be completely honest. And I find it a bit hard to see how people would rally behind Ciryl Gane once again, like they did when he was up and coming and just going through absolutely everyone and being super active. I don't think we're ever going to see that again, and I don't see how he's going to generate that hype again. But what do you guys think about Ciryl Gane? Are you a big fan of his still, even though a lot of his fans have jumped off the hype train? Let me know in the comments. Thank you for watching the video, and I'll see you in the next one.